Good afternoon, Ms. Burney. Thank you for joining us. If you don't mind, please introduce yourself and tell us what Zane Venture Fund, Zane Access. I see the logos on your on your screen. So tell us what you do and who you are.
Sure. I am Shila Nieves Burney. I'm the founder and managing partner for Zane Venture Fund and the founder for Zane Access. Zane Venture Fund, we're targeting a $25 million fund to invest in diverse founders and teams who are building tech-enabled solutions primarily here in the Southeast, opportunistic across the US. Zane Access is what we call our educational entrepreneurial readiness studio. So we're bringing entrepreneurs in at the earliest stage when they're ready to somewhat scale. They've had some traction and get them capital ready, meaning they now can sort of get ready to be in front of investors for potential investments.
Oh, cool. So now I have questions. After they go through Zane Access, do they then they should be ideally in a position to pitch or come to Zane Venture Fund for funding if they go through and successfully complete all the things that you have outlined for them?
Yes, and if they're considered, so we look at what we call venture backable companies, meaning companies that can scale quickly, and those are typically technology companies. And so for us, we've made one investment so far out of the cohort. Overall, these folks have gone out and raised capital, outside of us. They've raised over $8 million and have $8 million so far just out of two cohorts. So while we've only participated in one of those, what we try to do is help build the network so they have access to those particular investors. And so if it's not us, there's someone, whether it's venture capital, angel capital, or crowdfunding, right? It's several sources. We make the introductions to the capital.
Awesome. So I know I came and spoke to one of the cohorts on Zoom a couple of weeks ago about trademark and copyright and IP. So I know that's a big topic for the people who go through the cohort and also for your company as well. So could you tell me kind of what the experience was like just going through the trademark process for you?
Sure. So of course it was something new and unfamiliar to me, and I didn't know, how the process could work, especially it's my family's name, coupled with a name that can't be trademarked, and how could someone say that it belongs to them, So the process itself, right? I think, if we fast forward to when I met you, first I met, is it David, I believe, first, who made the introduction to us. And then I was able to just let go and let you do what you do from a legal perspective, right? And so you knew the problem, you knew the law or whatever, and you kind of like comforted me saying, hey, Shila, this is what we're going to do. Here's the process. I'll take it from here. And I think that's what most clients want, right? We have in our head, oh my gosh, the world's going to turn upside down if I don't get this. And so there's having someone who's a professional and has an expertise on these types of things just provides a comfort to someone like me as a client, because I realize now how important having those things are, having them in place on the early side, how it matters to have like these different things trademark and protected early in the creation of your business is critical. So you don't have these things kind of like pop up when you're on your way.
Right. So if you could tell someone else, like how early or when do you think they should look for it? I know that we told them a lot of the people who are in your cohort already started their business. They had been doing it for a little while. Should people look in the very beginning and see, or when do you think people should start thinking about their trademark?
I think they should start as soon as they know they have a business idea, they've ideated around it, right? Enough to now they want to start the process of building that business. One thing I did before I launched the fund, I looked for trademarking, but then I lost it when it came to Zane Access, right? So I thought about it for the venture fund, but I did not have my counsel do it for Zane Access. So I think it's at the very beginning, which is why we wanted you to come in and like, hey, these founders need to know this. If I need to know it and I'm on the end of providing capital, think about the ones who are on the other end that are providing equity to a company. Like they're saying, hey, take part of my company, and someone could easily steal your IP if you don't have it protected. And so we just think as soon as you decide. And so for us, these companies are past ideation. They have a little bit of traction, so they're still considered early stage. So that's when we feel like they should start. Once you're building an early stage company, start finding your attorney, your counsel who could talk to you about what kind of things you need in place. I will say this, we have companies that are up and running who have not protected their IP. And I'm going like, if you don't talk to someone immediately, I talked to someone last, no, it was one of our companies, and I'm going, hey, if you don't have a counsel, I got someone I'm going to recommend to you, but he already had his counsel. So we're always telling them, especially when there's even technology involved, right? Outside of the trademarking, just making sure your IP, everything is protected. So I say early stage.
Right. Well, thank you so much. That was it. That's easy. We're done.